Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is January 15th. It is 7:43 a.m. All right. Man, what a week, y'all. What a week, what a week. We had a great week. Basically, I'm not looking to jump in any more trades. The ones that I'm already in, I'm just looking for them to play out. So this morning is gonna be more of kind of a market recap, if anything, right? Just to kind of talk about what we saw, what actually happened based on what we were predicting to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back. We'll go to Aud Cad. All right. Aud Cad was in profit, okay, and it retraced, but as we can see, it broke the trend. This could be a break in a retest, right? But remember, I was saying that, I really want to see basically this area, really, I don't want to take any sales until we break this 0.97897 mark, right? Like until we actually break that, I'm not on board with any sales with Aud Cad. As we can see here, first of all, remember, just going back, the monthly stochastic was pointed up. We did have a cross, I believe. Let me just go back so we can make sure. All right, so yeah, we still got that cross on the monthly. All right, we can't lose sight of that. The weekly, we do have a cross, but looking at our trend line, we haven't totally broken the trend when it comes to the weekly chart. Again, I'm not looking for sales unless we break this trend line and really this 0.97967 mark. Okay, just going back down to the daily. The daily is right now considered to be oversold. Okay, it is considered to be oversold. So we got to take note of that. I also want to take note that it kind of looks like we may be in some sort of, let me see, so you can see it. All right. Okay. It's going down, but yeah, look, it's definitely going down. It's respecting trend. But horizontal line, okay. Let's put it about right, because we know this is really the buy zone, right? So we can mark it off just like that. So basically, it looks like we have a falling wedge pattern or a descending kind of wedge pattern. And if we break out of this, okay, as we can see, we're getting down to the point where, it's not that much room left, okay? So we end up breaking out of this and we end up back at this 98,300 level, okay, then you better believe that we're going to be continuing with this overall bullish trend, okay? But if we end up breaking and retesting after this level, price could come down and fill at least this long body candle here, and again come all the way down to 9708, this 896 mark. And even if it does, again, it has to break that for me with this overall is big bullish trend for me to really be looking for sales or want to go against the trend. Okay, so I want to just take note of that. All right, we have a falling wedge pattern again, which is basically a signal of a bullish move that may occur. All right, so let's go to Aud Jpy. All right, Same thing on Aud Jpy. Let's just go back again just to take a look at it. We still got that overall bullish. It's a bullish cross on the monthly chart. We can't not lose sight of that. We do have a cross on the weekly. However, same thing. We haven't totally broken the trend, right? On the weekly, this isn't really enough for me to say that it's actually broken trend, okay? And then even on the daily chart, again, we have this diagonal level of support, but at the same time, we have this horizontal level of support too. So let's see what happens if this 80.241 level holds on the daily. We're also in oversold territory, so we cannot lose sight of that. All right, let's go down to the 4 hour. Same thing. We are in oversold territory. 2 hour, we're also in oversold territory. We have a pretty steep trend here, all right? So again, we want to see what this level does, all right? Because again, we have to break this level for this to really be bearish, right? For this to really be bearish. So let's see what happens here. All right, matter of fact, let me change this one to red because we in the business with that one. All right. So basically that's our structure there. It's kind of a wedge, but at the same time, it's really just a up. And then also at the same time, we see that price has kind of just been in this range. All right. So it's also not outside of market structure. Okay. So again, it's at a pivotal point. You know, it's either going to break this trend, all right, or we're going to end up opening up, all right. If you do break, you got 40 pips to 79,706, all right. But again, if this holds, you have the same play that we had still in play. And remember, you don't need this whole thing, all right. Just from here to the top of the zone is how many pips is that? It's about 50 pips, 60 pips, 64 pips. All right. Remember, we only need 20 pips. That's it. That's all we're looking for is about 20 pips. So again, y'all, this is a very pivotal point in Aud Jpy. All right, to see which direction is really going to go. All right. Again, I'm bullish, but hey, look, if it ends up breaking, this is okay to risk this, because if it does indeed break, then again we got so much territory that we could play with. But just looking back, you know, I don't see very many wicks, you know, signaling that, you know, this thing is coming back. You know what I'm saying? Usually when I see a bunch of wicks like this one here, okay, this wick hasn't been filled. It hasn't been filled. So at some point, it's going to get filled. These wicks were here, right? All these wicks were here. All these wicks. But guess what? Now all those orders have been filled. All right. So we'll see how this plays out. We do have this one right here. So this could come down maybe a little bit more. All right, but it's still not enough for me. This is basically this whole area from here to here is my buy zone. All right. So let's just go ahead to the next one. Gbp Jpy. This one is turning against us again. Same thing. This one was you know, in profit. All right, but it's not all the way stopped out. And at the same time, we're kind of sitting on top of this level here. All right. Price extended away from here. And what we know is that these clusters or these areas of consolidation, all right, price likes to come back and touch. Okay. So for an example, this area consolidation, all right, price extended up, it came down, guess what? It came down, it touched it, all right? Came back up, guess what? This area consolidation, guess what? It came back, all right? That's what it did. This area, it extended, made an area consolidation, extended again, area consolidation, came back, touched it. This area never touched, now we touching. So, you know, I'll be really interested to see what happens here. All right, what happens there? Let's just put it on top of the body, that one, and yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. All right, going off. Let's go to a 4 hour. Yeah, I like that right there. All right, so let's go to the next one, CAD. All right, this one's acting a little better. All right, same thing, y'all. We just been floating around entry, but we've been on the right side of this. Okay. One thing for certain is we definitely chose some good areas of support, right? Good support areas, definitely good entries, and we'll continue to get better at that. All right. CAD, we're kind of in that no buy zone. We do have a lot of bearish momentum, but overall, we've been on a uptrend. Okay. Let's go to the weekly. All right. Just looking at areas that need to be filled. Remember, y'all, our wicks, we know that price at some point is coming back, right, to these wicks. So we got several wicks that need to be filled, all right? So it's just a matter of which ones are going to get filled first, all right? So right now on the weekly, we do have, you know, it looks like we have a cross, but right now it looks like we have some type of support going on. Go to the daily. The daily, we do have a cross, all right, but we are in a no buy zone. All right, we are in the middle. All right. Higher high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It's not setting any lower lows. So again, y'all, this is just still bullish territory all day long, right? Until we break this level, 1.71946, all right? I'm not looking for any bearish moves at all, okay? So again, this little area right here is okay to sacrifice in my eyes, all right? Because again, we're with the trend. All right, we're with the trend, if that makes sense. So, but if it does break that level, then again, we got so much opportunity that if we did sustain a loss in this area, that we can make it up all in this area. All right. So let's go to the next one. GA. Okay, so GA and GC have been acting pretty good. The one that's been acting up was, what was it? AJ, GJ. All right, but GA right now we know always kind of does his own thing, but let's see what we got here on the daily. All right, the daily we are pointing up still, but we are kind of oversold territory. On the weekly, we are definitely in oversold territory. Okay, I'm sorry. The daily, it says overbought, but again on the weekly, it's oversold. So that's that. So I really feel confident about this GBP AUD, just based on what I saw. Okay. Let me see something. Wow. Let me change this to green. Change this to green, y'all, because this is my money line. You know, this is the daily support. Okay, we're right there on daily support. Until we break that, I'm for sure not looking for any sales. All right, any sales at all. Till that breaks and holds, not looking for any sales. And with price saying over sold on a weekly, again, I'm staying with that. We got some pretty good ideas, y'all. All right, so this was the same thing with US 30, where US 30 was making, we said that we saw it look like a head and shoulders pattern where this was the left shoulder, this was the head, right? It didn't make the right shoulder till it came all the way over here. And same thing, it was in a rising wedge pattern where it was setting lower, higher lows, but it wasn't setting any higher highs, all right? And what ended up happening was it ran out of room. Price finally broke like we thought. And right now, we know that it may be at least coming back down to our money line. Okay, but we see when price comes crashing back down, when it has so much force and momentum, a lot of times it ends up breaking and then holding. Okay, so I would like to see for maybe this this candle to be filled, because this was the candle. Remember, we always looking for our long body candles. All right, that's the opportunity right there. So this was the goal right here. So right now we have tapped into that. Remember, same thing we looked at. We looking at wicks, right? We're looking at wicks that need to be filled. All of these wicks need to be filled. Like, it could come all the way back down. It's a lot of room, honestly, for this to come back down to. Okay, so you know, it's a you know, definitely caught a good position. Like, you couldn't have got a better position than the position that we mapped out on this one right here. Okay, like this is definitely, like, no doubt about it, is the trade of the week. Like, no doubt. Okay, that's 2 hours, 15. It's 8:03. All right, so we see from nine to 11. Yep. So that was definitely a good one. All I did was threw that little trend line on there, just trying to make sure that it stays within what we're doing. All right. We want to ride this out. No doubt about it. All right. Let's go to the next one. Sorry. Okay. Gold, we've been in and out of, we've been in profit pretty much the whole time. Again, good entry. 4 hour. I really like that. Okay. Oh man. Yep. So I'm just looking to see if that's a double bottom right there. All right. But we are extended away from our trend line, so we do see that it could be coming back to an area of support. But overall, this looks like something that's worth holding. I definitely think that's a double bottom though. Okay. Gold normally does the opposite of what everything is doing here. Same thing, y'all. We got a great position on this one. Price did the same thing where it made this left shoulder, had a peak. It did not do anything. It did not make the right shoulder until we got over here. And it plummeted down. All right. So again, y'all, I mean, these were very solid entries, you know, and the entry is really where the money is, you know, trying to find that weekly high or that weekly low, get that position, and then let that ride out. You know, like you don't have to have, you know, 100 trades to be profitable. You know, you could get one trade, just the right trade, and that one trade could take you 25% or more for the week, right? But you just have to be patient, be able to stay in the game until you get that position on whatever currency pairs that you're looking at. So, you know, with that being said, y'all, again, man, I definitely appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Yet another week, another successful week. And I look forward to duplicating what we're doing yet another week next week, right? Because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? As a trader, we show up every day. We take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to us. And whether or not it was a winning day or a losing day, at the end of the day, it was just another day at the office. And that's how you got to condition your mind. As long as you're reading your keys and you're doing the same thing over and over again, all right, we're just going to let the numbers, okay, we're going to let the numbers work in our favor. That's it. Remember, with proper risk to reward, we can actually lose more than we win and still come out profitable. Like, where in the world can you grow wealth losing more than you win? Like, this is the only place if we have proper risk to reward, right? And so we have proper risk to reward, and then we're also using data, okay, using data to tell us probability, right? Probability, like based on the last 100 trades, what happened when you know price came from this level from the 80, right? I'm sorry, from the 20, right? Meaning it's oversold on the 2-hour. You know what happened when it came from overboard? Maybe the last 100 times, or you could say 50 and 50. Doesn't matter. All right. You can say the MACD cross, and remember, let me see something. See if I have this. I showed y'all this before. Okay, it's all data. All right, it's all data. Give me a second. Like when we did this Aud Jpy spreadsheet, and we got the data on the MACD cross. Okay, how many pips? When did it deliver a win or a loss? Okay, so if you have data that tells you a winning strategy, all right, and you're working with probability, it's telling you that it wins more than, again, we just needed to win more than 55, 60% of the time. All right, and in this case, you have something that win, say, 80, 90% of the time. We only need 20 pips, right? So if you have proper risk to reward and you have a strategy where the probability is working in your favor, how can you really lose? All right? It's only one way, and that's over leveraging, right? You can't let one trade knock you out the game. All right? You cannot let one trade knock you out the game, financially or mentally. All right? Financially or mentally. And that's very key. Mental health is very key as a trader. All right? And then that's why we have to take our emotions out of it. All right. And I like to use the data, because when I'm going off of data and not my personal opinion, then if I'm wrong, it doesn't hurt me as much, right? And if I'm right, it doesn't even excite me as much, right? So anyway, again, y'all, I definitely appreciate y'all for rocking with us again. This is being recorded, man. We had a phenomenal week. I will post my results in the chat. As far as the 5% a day, we smashed that out of the park. All right. And again, we look forward to duplicating this yet another week. So holla at y'all Sunday night for weekly market forecast next week. Y'all have a good one.